still don't know whether the dark web actually took my friend, or if it just showed him what was already happening right under my nose. Either way, that morning completely shattered everything I thought I knew about the people closest to me. My best friend Alex and I met shortly after I moved to a new town in high school. My parents had insisted we move after a string of strange murders happened near our old house. I never really thought the danger was that serious, but they weren't taking any chances. Looking back, I guess I just thought they were being overprotective. Alex and I hit it off immediately, mostly bonding over our love for all things internet. He was a brilliant developer and coder, while I was more of a gaming addict. By our second year of friendship, we were inseparable, spending practically every day together, either online or in person. Alex was much quieter than me, but he had this weird, intense obsession with the dark web. At first, I wasn't worried. He mostly used it to learn new coding tricks or find obscure software tools. But then, he started digging deeper. Why? Too deep. The morning everything changed. I woke up to about a dozen texts from him. Dude, come over ASAP. Jack, please wake up. Where are you? This is serious. I'd never seen him sound so panicked. My parents were already at work, so I just grabbed my jacket and ran straight to his house. When I turned onto his street, I stopped dead in my tracks. 4 police cars were parked out front. Neighbors were standing on their lawns, just staring. News fans were already pulling up. For a second, I couldn't breathe. I pushed through the crowd until Alex's mom saw me. Her face was pale, with tear streaks running down her cheeks. Alex is missing, she said, her voice completely broken. My stomach just dropped. I kept replaying his messages in my head. The panic, the desperation, the urgency. He must have known something was wrong. Maybe he saw something online. Maybe someone had threatened him. Primera de no idea. Inside the house, a detective tried to reassure me. We're doing everything we can, he said. We'll find him. But something in his voice made my skin crawl. It was like even he didn't believe his own words. I showed him the texts, and his expression shifted immediately. It was concern, caution, but something else, too. We'll need to hold on to your phone for now, he said. I handed it over, without a fight. I stayed with Alex's parents for a while. His mom kept breaking down, and his dad just sat there, silent, staring at nothing. The whole house felt like all the air had been sucked out of it. After a bit, I slipped into Alex's room, hoping to find something, anything, that could explain his messages. The room looked normal at first glance. His bed was a mess, his desk was cluttered with junk, and posters covered the walls. But then I noticed his computer tower was on, even though the screen was black. I reached over and pressed the power button on the monitor, and in that instant, everything made sense and nothing did. Alex was on the dark web. There were dozens of tabs opened. My heart started hammering in my chest as I quietly closed his bedroom door and locked it. I sat down at his desk and started clicking through the tabs, one by one. Most of them were old news articles and crime reports, details about murders in different states' cases I'd never even heard of, but they weren't random. They were all about people who had gone missing, their fates a total mystery. And then I saw it. A familiar article, a familiar face, a name I recognized. It was our old neighbor, the very reason my parents had moved us across the country. She'd been found dead 2 years before we left. My parents had always been vague about it, but Alex had found everything, every single detail they never told me. I tried to tell myself he was just curious. Maybe he just stumbled on the case while digging around online. But then I clicked the last tab, and my chest tightened. It wasn't an article, it wasn't a forum. It was just a search bar, and typed into it was my last name. A cold chill shot through my entire body. Why was he searching for my name? What did he think he'd found? Is this what he was trying to warn me about? I rushed out of his room, mumbled something to his mother about needing to go home, and bolted. The detective in the hallway just watched me leave with this strange, unreadable expression. When I got home, I locked myself in my room and fired up my own computer. I didn't want to believe what I was thinking, but I had to know. I launched Tor, turned on my VPN, and typed in my last name, just like Alex had. For a moment, nothing. A blank page, just like on his screen. Then, slowly, thumbnails started to load. Dozens of them. They were all blurry, dark, and had no labels. I didn't click on any of them. I didn't need to. I knew, deep down, that whatever was in those videos wasn't meant for me to see. Someone knew my name. Someone connected it to things I couldn't possibly understand. And Alex had found out before I did. I slammed the browser shut, my hand shaking. My parents came home later that night, acting completely normal. They asked about my day, about school. I just sat at the dinner table, staring at them, tease horribly, twisting fear growing in my stomach, because the dark web didn't just show Alex something that got him taken. It showed me that the real monsters aren't hiding online. They could be sitting right across from you. And I still don't know if whoever took Alex is done looking for me. I've told almost no one this story, because every time I remember it, I feel that same cold pressure in my chest. I still don't know how he got into my computer, or how he knew exactly what I was doing. I was 15 when this happened, and like a lot of kids my age, I thought I understood the internet better than most. I knew how to code a little bit, just basic Python and Java. I'd also been on the dark web a few times, mostly just to look at forums. I thought I was smart, and more importantly, I thought I was safe behind Tor and AVPN. That confidence didn't last long. It was a Friday afternoon after school, and I was alone in my room. I remember the sunlight coming through my curtains and everything feeling completely normal. I wasn't planning on doing anything stupid, but boredom and curiosity are a dangerous mix when you're a teenager. I opened the Tor browser and went to the hidden wiki, scrolling through the usual mess of drug markets, scam sites, and broken links. Most of it looked fake or abandoned. Then I saw a forum link I didn't recognize. The title was written in bright red text, "Not for the weak, enter at your own risk." I should have stopped there. I should have closed my laptop. I should have trusted the awful feeling that hit me the moment I clicked that link, but I didn't. The page was nearly empty, just a single hyperlink in the middle of a black background. No description, no title, just a link. Before I could talk myself out of it, I clicked it. A chat window opened. At first, it was silent. No usernames, no conversation, just people dropping random, unlabeled links. That alone made my stomach twist. I knew what kind of stuff could be hidden inside those links. I hovered my mouse over the back button, and then a message popped up. "Hello, new user." My finger froze above the mouse. I tried typing hi back, but the chat field wouldn't let me write anything. I pressed harder on the keys. I tried to close the browser. It wouldn't close. My cursor was stuck. A second message appeared. "I see you've found my page." I sat back in my chair, suddenly aware of how loud my heartbeat was. Then the third message came. "No, son, not the keyboard." My entire body went cold. I reached for the power button on my laptop, but the screen changed before I could press it. A video window opened, pitch black at first. Then I heard a deep, distorted voice. "Unfortunately for you, you don't have a choice." I panicked and grabbed a sticky note off my desk, slapping it over my webcam. I didn't want him to see me, but the voice in the video responded instantly. "So we're playing games now?" The screen lit up. A dimly lit room appeared. Someone was standing there, just out of full view, holding what looked like a long, thin object. I couldn't see his face completely, but I saw enough. The shape of his jaw, his breath, fogging the camera lens. The way he seemed to lean closer, like he was trying to look past my sticky note. He didn't speak again. It felt like he was waiting for me to react, and then the screen flickered. The image shifted to the corner of the room he was in. There was something covered by a cloth, slumped low, like a chair, or something sitting in it. I couldn't see what it was. And honestly, I didn't want to know. My instincts finally kicked in. I yanked the laptop charger from the wall. The screen stayed on. I slammed the lid shut. The sound kept playing from inside the closed laptop, muffled but unmistakable. My heart was in my throat. I dropped to the floor, holding my breath as if he could somehow hear it. Eventually, the audio cut off. I don't know when, because at some point, I must have curled up beside my bed and stayed there until the sun went down. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell my friends. I couldn't even look at my laptop for weeks. Even now, years later, I avoid webcams. I cover the one on my phone. And I don't use the dark web at all. Not even out of curiosity. Because the part that scares me most isn't what he said, or what primera sa w, or that he somehow accessed my device. It's that he knew I was trying to leave, before I even moved my hands, like he was watching something else. Something I still don't understand. Thanks for listening. If you liked this story, remember to subscribe for more.